Hello, dear students, and good morning to everyone. Welcome to the geography classes for class 8 social science. And in today's video lecture, we will discuss the chapter number 9 of geography, that is human resources. This is the last chapter of your class 8 geography. So, students, we started off basics, which are resources, and then moved on to the different types of resources. We have learned about land and soil resources, water resources, mineral and power resources. We have learned about industries. But finally, it is us humans who need to use these diverse resources available to us, and we only turn them into raw materials and other finished goods. After all, people are the nation's greatest resource. That is what we will be learning in this video or in this chapter. Okay? That how people can be a resource. So from here we are going to start the chapter number 9, that is human resource. Okay? So let us see that what is human resource. Okay? So human resource implies to the people of the nation. Okay? Here we are going to learn human resource with respect to the people. Okay, or with respect to the nation. So human resources directly implies to the people of any nation. Okay? People indeed are a nation's greatest resource. Now, why people are considered as a nation's greatest resource? Okay, as we are knowing that all other resources which nature offers to us are important only if they are useful to human beings. As in the previous chapter or in the first chapter only, we have learned about human resources, that why human resources are considered as one of the ultimate or the most important resource, because humans are only responsible for changing the available natural resources into useful products. Okay, so let us see that why human resources are considered as greatest resource. Human resources are considered as the greatest resource because nature's bounty, that means whatever things are present in nature or whatever resources are present in nature, becomes significant or important only when people find it useful. I have explained you the meaning of resource, and that I have explained you that everything that has some utility for us, that is only a resource. Okay, so human is only responsible for changing everything is in nature as or providing it value or utilize it. So that is why humans are considered as an important resource. Okay, because it is the people only who convert the available resources into a resource by means of their knowledge as well as a skill and ability. Now, why people modify or change naturally available resources? What is the need of humans to change the naturally available resources? Okay, since people have needs, demand, and they are having their want. Okay, they are having their demands and needs. For that only, they convert the naturally available resources into something more useful with their abilities, as I have explained you, with their knowledge, skill, okay? And this makes people the ultimate resource. Okay, let us move further. So, all of you are knowing that why we are learning, since we are learning human resource, okay, with respect to nation. So people indeed are a nation's greatest resource. Okay, and they need to be managed and their potential needs to be used to the fullest, because nature's bounty becomes significant only when people find it useful. Peoples are only there who change the resources. That is why these people of the nation should be managed properly so that their potential can be utilized. Okay, so for that only, healthy, educated, and motivated people, the nation that are having highly educated people, those who are having high technical skills, okay, those who are motivated to do something, develop resources as per their requirements. Okay, that is why isliye if you will talk about India, the government of India has a ministry of human resource development. We have developed a ministry known as human resource development. As I have explained you, while explaining in the class only that you people are not considered as the human resource. If I am also sitting and doing nothing for the country, then I am not a resource. Okay, so in India, human resource development is established to improve the resources, to improve the human as a resource, okay, or to make the human as a resource. Let us see what is Ministry of Human Resource Development. It was also known as MHRD. The Ministry of Human Resource Development was created in the year 1985 with an aim to improve people's skill, provide better education facilities for them to develop their education, as well as providing them various job opportunities and trainings for improving their skills as well. Okay, so now this Ministry of Human Resource Development has been renamed. This ministry has been renamed, and now it is named as Ministry of Education of Government of India. This MHRD ministry has only changed and named as Ministry of Education because it believes that education, as I am explaining you every time, that education is the weapon for everything, like that only. So that is why MHRD is changed now as Ministry of Education, and it is under Pokhriyal, okay, Nishank Pokhriyal. So the headquarter of this department, of this ministry, is in New Delhi. Let us move further and learn about one more thing. As we have learned about the distribution of resources, in the first chapter only we have learned that the resources are not equally distributed at every place. Okay, they are unevenly distributed. There are some areas that are rich in iron ore. There are some areas where iron ore is not available. There are some places where coal is in abundant amount, but there are some places where coal is not there. Okay, there are some places where soil is very fertile, some places where soil is barren. There are some places where fit water for drinking is available, some places where water is not there. Okay, so natural resources are unevenly distributed. Like other natural resources, human resources are also unequally distributed on the surface of the earth. Now the question arises that how humans are unequally distributed on the world, okay, or in the world. So education differ in various things. Human resources differ in various things, like their educational backgrounds. Okay, they are different educational backgrounds also. There are some places, like if we will talk about India, so Kerala is there, whose literacy rate is very high. That means in that area educated people are living. Okay, their education level is very high. There are some part in India where literacy rate is very less, so their educational background is less. So people differ in educational background as well as they differ in age metrics. Don't think about a country, just think about your family. In your family also there are people who belongs to different age group. There are children also, there are adult also, there are old people also. Okay, so like that human resources vary with age matrix also, in age also. All the people of the country do not belong to the same age group, they belongs to different age groups. Okay, in some countries there are large number of adults, in some countries there are large number of senior citizens, in some countries there are large number of, okay, uh, younger people are there. Okay, so like that only they differ in sex ratio also. Sex ratio means the ratio of male and female, that also differ. Okay, take example of your house only. In some houses male members are there, female members are less. Okay, so like that only the population, or we can say that the human resource is unevenly distributed. They differ in their educational background, they differ in their sex ratio, in their age matrix, as well as they also differ in their number also. That is only their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. Okay, there are some places where the people are non-productive. If we will talk about the forest areas, the tribal people, those who are living there, they are unproductive. They are not imparting or participating in the economy of the country. So that is why they are considered as unproductive and they are not counted as the human resource. Okay, like that only the children. Okay, children do not participate in any kind of economic development of the country, so they are also considered as unproductive. Okay, numbers also, every state is having different population, every city is having different population, so human population vary according, or human resource vary according to their number also. So this is only the distribution of human resource is also unequal in the world or on the earth's surface. Okay, let us see distribution of population. The way in which people are distributed in different parts of the world is only known as pattern of population distribution. People are distributed differently. Like this we have learned now, that people prefer to stable in the plain areas or habitate in the plain areas in comparison to the mountain areas or desert areas. So if we will take example of India only, so here also the central part, okay, the plain area is having high population in comparison to the desert area and mountainous region. Okay, so this is only pattern of population distribution. Somewhere it is very crowded, some areas are very less populated. Okay, so let us see here some of the patterns I am going to explain you. Just listen carefully. More than 90% of the world's population lives in about 30% of the land surface. Whole world, okay, whole earth. The land, from that only 30% land is utilized by 90% people to live. Okay, rest of the 70% land is vacant only. Okay, the like this only distribution देखो किस तरह से हो रहा है. Only 30% land is utilized because that is only fit for the habitation of the people. Okay, next is the distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven. Okay, some areas are very crowded and some are sparsely populated. Some areas are very crowded, like if we will take example of China, so it is a very populous country. If we will take example of Vatican City, it is very less populated country. Okay, so there are some areas, it is quite obvious, the places or the areas that are having quite all the factors available for the habitation of the people, those areas are crowded. Okay, their population is very high. Move further. The crowded areas are, let us know about that, which areas are considered as the crowded area. The crowded areas are South and Southeast Asia. All of you are knowing in Asia only China and India is there. And both these countries are the highly populated countries of the world. So South and Southeast Asia, Europe and Northeastern North America. All these are the nation or are the part whose population is very large. Okay, where human resource is very large. Very few people live in high latitude areas, tropical desert areas, high mountains and areas of equatorial forest. This is quite clear to you. No one is going to live on mountain, or the population of mountainous region is very less. Desert region is also not habitated by the people. Okay, like that only the equatorial region where the temperature is very high because it receives the direct sunlight, there also people do not reside. Okay, so all these areas are having less population. Let us, almost 3/4 of the world population or people live in two continents, that is Asia and Africa. That means these two continents are having 3/4 of the population. Okay, 3/4 of the population are living in these two continents only, Asia and Africa, because these continents are having all the conditions that are required for the habitation of the people. So population distribution also depend on various factors that we will learn further. 60% of the world's people stay in just 10 countries. Okay, so the here 10 countries are given and let us see their population. China is their highest population. India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, these are the highly populated countries of the world. So 60% of the population are living in these 10 countries. Rest of the 40%, how many countries are there in the world? Okay, they are living in that. So these 10 countries are the countries that are highly populated. All of them have more than 100 million people. Okay, they are having population more than 100 million people. So this is only the population distribution. The population or the human resource is also very highly or extremely unevenly distributed, that we have learned. Some of the facts we have learned, that there are only 2 continents where most of the population living, only 10 countries are there, those are highly populated. Okay, let us move further and learn about population density. Before learning this word population density, I think that all of you are familiar with the word density. What is density? So we have learned about the formula of density is mass upon volume. That means the density of a substance is its mass per unit volume. How much mass that particular thing is consuming in per unit volume, that is only the density. This is only in the respect of population density also. We will take one area, okay? Suppose that I have taken one area, okay? And this is 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer and 1 kilometer, okay? So area of this place is 1 kilometer square. How many people are living in this area? That is only the population density. That means the number of people living in per square kilometer is only known as population density. Let us see. Population density refers to the number of people living in a unit area. Okay, unit area means per square kilometer pe how many people are living. That is only known as population density. So the formula of population density is number of people upon an area of a square kilometer. Okay, how many people are living in 1 square kilometer? That is only the population density. 1 square kilometer में how many people are living? That is the population density. Let us see here. If we will talk about world, so average population density of the world is 51 persons per square kilometers. That per square kilo, if we will talk about the world, so in per square kilometers only 51 people are living. But if we will talk about India, then 382 persons are living in per square kilometers. So just imagine the how crowded the population of India is. Okay, so this is the formula. And what is population density? The number of people, yeah, population density refers to the number of people living in a unit area. Okay, let us move further. Now we have learned about the pattern of population distribution. Here we will learn about that yes, there are some factors that affect the population pattern of a place. Okay, all of you are knowing that people always prefer the places where they get good climatic condition, where they get plain areas, where they get good transportation facilities as well as developed areas. Like people choose to go to the metropolitan cities. Why people choose to go to the metropolitan cities? Because all the facilities are available there, good network connection is there. Okay, good government policies, better job opportunities, good educational institutions are there. So people choose that area for the purpose of living. Okay, like that only there are several factors that affect the population density. The areas that are having all those comfortable factors, people live there only. Physical factors की बात करेंगे. Physical factor is also known as geographical factors. Okay, so in geographical factors we are having relief. Relief features means mountainous region, desert region, plain region, plateau, valleys. Okay, soil, how is the soil, whether it is fertile or unfertile. Climatic conditions, the areas that are, there are some areas that are severely cold, there are some areas that are severely hot, and there are some areas where temperature is pleasant or moderate. Availability of water, this is from the ancient time we are learning that people or ancient people habitate the places where the availability of water was there, where the water was available. And we have learned the reason also, that why the ancient people settled at the bank of the rivers. Okay, so that we will learn. All the factors we are going to learn in detail. So if we will talk about relief features, so the flat lands, okay, flat or undulating land in the plains and river valleys have always been the most favored places for human habitation. We are knowing that the areas that are plain, okay, that if we will talk about India, the central part is having the plain region, northern plains. That area is the most populous area of India. Why that area is most populous? Because that plain, okay, gives all the facilities, like for the agriculture also it is good, for maintaining roadways also, railway tracks also it is good, okay. So all the facilities are easily available in that place. That is why people used to live in the plain areas. So plain areas are highly populated in comparison to the desert area, mountain area, or any other area. Okay, so in India, the Ganga plains or the northern plains are the most densely populated areas of the world. Okay, while mountains, the mountainous region like Andes, Alps, and Himalayas are sparsely populated. That means the population of those areas are very less. Not only Himalayan ranges, the population of the desert region, where desert is there, the population is also very less. Let us move further. Climatic conditions. Okay, so if we will talk about the climatic conditions, so the mountainous region of India, the Jammu and Kashmir region, okay, the hilly areas, okay, there the temperature is very high, okay, the climatic conditions are very harsh. And if we will talk about the desert regions, okay, so it's like South Africa and all that, so temperature conditions are very harsh, very hot temperature conditions are there. So that is why people used to live at a place which has a moderate rainfall, which has a summer, okay, good summer and a good winter. Okay, like the places we live, here we get plenty of rainfall also, here we enjoy the summers also and winters also. And people also want to live or choose the coastal areas also for the purpose of habitation, because coastal areas are having moderate climate. Okay, so the people usually avoid extreme climates that are very hot or very cold, like Sahara desert or the polar regions of Russia, yeah, Canada or Antarctica. Now, regions having equable and moderate climate are always densely populated, like mid latitudes areas, coastal areas, and plain areas. Okay, so climate also affect the distribution of population. That is why people do not live in Antarctica, because there is extreme climatic conditions. People do not like to live in the Sahara desert because that are having also extreme climatic conditions. Now, soil. All of you are learned about soil, fertile and barren land. Okay, so people choose the areas where the soil is very fertile so that they can grow something for their food consumption. So regions having fertile soil have a higher population density. Okay, the coastal plains, the northern plains of India, if you will talk about China, the Huanghe plains, Nile Valley, Nile river के पास का area, okay, in Egypt are some of the densely populated areas of the world. Now, infertile desert soil like Rajasthan, Sahara desert, okay, the where mountainous soil is available, like on mountains, yeah, sandy soil is available, okay, where they cannot grow crops or agricultural growth is very less. People do not want to live at those places, okay, so the population of those places is very less. Now, availability of water. From the ancient times, we are learning that the ancient people also lived at the bank of the rivers. Now, why they have chosen? So that water is easily available at those places. Okay, so like that only, the places where water availability is good, that is river valleys. Okay, so concentration of population is high there. Okay, concentration of population is more around river banks where there is plenty of fresh water and potable water available, that means the water that is fit for drinking. Deserts are scantily populated because of scarcity of water. About deserts, we are knowing that people do not live in the desert regions because water is not available there. Let us move further and learn about some more factors, that is economic factors. Okay, that is resources, industrial activities, urbanization and transport. So if we will talk about the resource, तो resource means क्या हुआ? The places that are having or the places that are having the availability of resources or the natural resources. So these areas attract denser population. Because why these areas attract denser population? Because it provides better employment या job opportunities. Like take an example of the because these areas provide better employment. Take an example of Chota Nagpur Plateau. So Chota Nagpur Plateau is an area that is known as mineral pocket of India. That means that area is having all the important natural resources. That is why that area is having all the major industries, okay, and that encourages or attracts people for the job opportunities, or that is why people live to those regions. The regions of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, all these regions are highly populated because there is the availability of natural resource available, okay. The areas with lack of resources is linked to low population areas. Not only the availability of mineral resources, where the water is not available, there also people will not live. Where the soil is not fertile, there also people will not live. All these are the resources only, okay. So like that only, the availability of natural resources also affect the population density. Now industrial activities, all of you are knowing that industries, as we have learned about, that industries attract or gives employment to people, okay. So the places where industrial regions are located, their population is very high because those industries, okay, provides employment or jobs to the people. That is why people attracted towards the region where industrial or industries are established. The density of population is very high around industrial regions because industries offer great employment jobs, okay. People attracted towards the region which provide good employment and so exert a pull on population. The areas that are having industries, okay, those areas people attract from the nearby areas and far away areas for the purpose of job there, okay. So those cities or those areas become overcrowded and it is only known as pull on population. That means the areas, those who are having good quantity of a good amount of industries, those areas become highly populated या overcrowded. या फिर those areas that are having better facilities, those also become overcrowded. So this is known as pull on population, okay. Population started increasing in those places. And the areas, like if we will talk about rural areas, so people, since no job opportunities are available, no industries are there, so people started moving from rural areas to the urban areas. So from rural areas, the population is pushing towards the urban areas. So that is only known as push on. Population is pushing from the rural to the urban areas, okay. So that is only the places where job opportunities or very little scope of job opportunities are available exert a push on population. That means वहाँ की population कम हो जाती है and the places that are having better employment facilities, वहाँ की population ज़्यादा हो जाती है, pull on population. Now urbanization means the city areas, okay, the development of the city areas, the availability of all the facilities, okay. So the places, the metropolitan cities are highly populated because they provide everything in a better form. They provide better educational facilities, they provide better transportation system, okay, they provide ऑल हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज़, जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, सब कुछ अच्छा होता है, हाउसिंग फैसिलिटीज़. सो दैट इज़ वाई मोर एंड मोर पीपल attract towards the metropolitan or urbanized cities because they give better facilities or better livelihood to the people, as well as those cities are having better job employment facilities, okay. So urbanization also affect, like in comparison to the rural areas, the population of the urban areas are very very high. In comparison to the town and cities, the population of the metropolitan cities are very high. Transportation, all of you are knowing that transportation also affect the availability of the population, okay. Growth of population is dependent on transport facilities of a region also, as plains and coastal regions are densely populated, as they have a good network of transports, okay. This is also the reason that why people do not reside in the mountainous region, because there is no access to better transport system, ओके बहुत मेहनत लगती है माउंटेन्स पे रेलवे ट्रैक्स और रोडवेज बनाने पे. सो दैट इज़ वाई लेस पीपल रिसाइड्स इन दोज एरियाज. नाउ फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी में सोशियो कल्चरल फैक्टर ऑल्सो वी विल लर्न. कल्चरल सेंटर्स, government policy, and religious centers. Okay, so if we will talk about cultural centers, so all of you are knowing that we have learned about some of the cities in class 7th. Okay, when we were learning about history, so in that we have learned about various cities. So there were some cities that are famous for their cultures. Okay, for any specific work. Okay, some cities are famous for some specific work. Okay, so many towns grow up and attract people to them because of the cultural opportunities they provide. Okay, like any educational institution is available. Okay, like a place where higher education is very good. Okay, like Bangalore, there is IIT, IIM. So people attract towards Bangalore for better education facilities. Okay, like that only. The like if we will talk about the world, so Oxford University, Cambridge universities, okay, colleges, all of you are knowing that now, that we, after you will attain a good education up to class 12th, you will move to other colleges. Those colleges are established in different cities, so children or students goes to different cities for the purpose of education. Okay, so that is only the cultural centers. Okay, next is government policy. Like if you want to become an actor, you will go to Mumbai. If you want to become a dancer, you will go to city where dancing institutes are there. Government policy, that only. The metropolitan cities, their government provides introduce various policies like for sanitation, okay, for the purpose of giving rationing, okay, housing facilities. So government policies are also responsible for the purpose of high population of any areas. Okay, an unfavorable government policy will not attract population. Like if we will talk about the rural areas, so their government do not introduce very less facilities. Okay, road construction is not that good. Now it is happening. Earlier days it was not there. Okay, road construction was not there. Better healthcare facilities are not there. Okay, so that is why the population in those places are also very less. Religious centers, all of us are knowing that religious centers means the places where temples are there, like Mathura. Okay, like Jammu and Kashmir, if we will talk about that Vaishno Devi area, so all these areas are having good amount of population, so religious places also attract people to settle there. Okay, uh, so all these are the factors that are responsible for the distribution of the population in the world or in India. Okay, so population varies according to the factors available there. Okay, so all these are the factor, the physical factors or geographical factors, the economic factors and socio-cultural factors are responsible for the difference in the population density that is found in the world. Okay, so in this video I will explain you this much only. In the next video, we will learn about some more terms, like we will learn about population composition, population change. Okay, population change is a very serious matter because population is keep on changing, is keep on increasing day by day. We will learn about the change in population. We will learn about population composition. किन किन चीज़ों से population बनती है. What are the things we consider in population composition, and we will learn about population pyramid या age sex pyramid. Okay, so all these things we are going to learn in the second part. Please watch the video of the first part, read your book properly, and if you are having any problem, ask your queries in the Zoom classes. Okay, so thank you students.